Keeping colors consistent. Keeping colors consistent. So what about keeping colors consistent? About color management in Adobe applications. By the way, Adobe Color Management helps you maintain the appearance of colors as you bring images in from external sources and edit documents and transfer them between Adobe applications and output your finished compositions. This system, by the way, is based on conventions developed by the International Color Consortium and a group responsible for standardizing profile formats and procedures so that consistent and accurate color can be achieved, by the way, throughout our workflow. And by default, color management is turned on in color managed Adobe applications, and if you purchased the Adobe Creative Suite, the color settings, by the way, are synchronized across applications to provide consistent display for RGB and CMYK colors. This means that colors look the same no matter which application you view them in. Like the next screenshot, this image now explains for you. The color settings for Adobe Creative Suite are synchronized in a central location through Adobe Bridge. And by the way, if you decide to change the default setting, easy to use presets let you configure Adobe Color Management to match common output conditions, by the way. And you can also customize color setting to meet the demands of your particular color workflow. And keep in mind that the kinds of images you work with and your output requirements influence how you use color management. For example, by the way, there are different color consistency issues for an RGB photo printing workflow and a CMYK commercial printing workflow, and a mixed RGB and CMYK digital printing workflow, and an internet publishing workflow, by the way. And what about basic steps? The basic steps for producing consistent color. The basic steps for producing consistent color. We have steps here now. The first step, consult with your production partners, if you have any, to ensure that all aspects of your color management workflow integrate seamlessly with theirs. And after that, discuss how the color workflow will be integrated with your work groups and service providers, and how software and hardware will be configured for integration into the color management system, and at what level color management will be implemented, by the way. Step number 2, celebrate and profile your monitor. And by the way, a monitor profile is the first profile, by the way, you should create, and seeing accurate color is essential if you are making creative decisions involving the color you specify in your document. And step number 3, add color profile to your system for any input and output devices, by the way, and you can plan to use such as scanners and printers. And by the way, the color management system uses profiles to know how a device produces color and what the actual colors in the document are. Device profiles are often installed, by the way, when a device is added to your system. And you can also use third-party software and hardware to create more accurate profiles for specific devices and conditions. And if your document will be commercially printed, contact your service provider to determine the profile for the printing device or press condition. Step number 4, set up color management in Adobe applications. And the default color, by the way, settings are sufficient for most users. However, you can change the color setting by doing one of the following. By the way, if you use multiple Adobe applications, you can use Adobe Bridge to choose a standard color management configuration and synchronize color setting across applications before working with documents. After that, if you use only one Adobe applications, or if you want to customize advanced color management options, by the way, you can change color setting for a specific application anyway. Step number 5, optional, preview colors using a soft proof. And by the way, after you create a document, you can use, by the way, a soft proof to preview how colors will look when printed or viewed on a specific device. Note here in this step here now. Note and be careful in this step number 5. By the way, a soft proof alone doesn't let you preview how overprinting will look when printed on the offset press. And if you work with documents that contain overprinting, turn on overprint preview to accurately preview overprints in a soft proof for Acrobat, and the overprint preview option is automatically applied, by the way. Step number 6. You can't use color management when printing and saving files and keeping the appearance of colors consistent across all of the devices in your workflow in the goal of color management. And leave color management options enabled when printing documents, by the way, and saving files and reprinting files for online viewing. Synchronize color setting across Adobe applications. How to synchronize color setting across Adobe applications? By the way, if you use Adobe Creative Suite, you can use Adobe Bridge to automatically synchronize color setting across applications. And this synchronization, by the way, ensures that colors look the same in the color managed Adobe applications. And if color settings are not synchronized, a warning message, by the way, appears at the top of the color setting dialog box in each application. And Adobe recommends that you synchronize color setting before you work with new or existing documents. We have 3 steps only. The first step here now in this point, you should open Bridge firstly. And to open Bridge from a Creative Suite applications, you should choose File, then choose Browse. To open Bridge directly, either choose Adobe Bridge from the Start menu if you use Windows, or double click the Adobe Bridge icon if you use Mac OS. Step number 2, you should choose Edit, then select Creative Suite color setting. And step number 3, and finally, you should select a color setting from the list. After that, click Apply, and if none of the default settings meet your requirements, you should select Show Expanded List of Color Setting Files to view additional setting. And to install a custom setting file, such as a file you received from a print service provider, you should click Show Saved Color Setting Files. How to set up color management? How to set up color management? We have steps. Step number 1, do one of the following. We have Illustrator and InDesign and Photoshop. If you use any one of those, Illustrator or InDesign or Photoshop, you should choose Edit, then you choose Color Setting. And after that, if you use Acrobat, select the color management category of the Preferences dialog box. Step number 2, you should select a color setting from the setting menu and then click OK after that. And the setting you select determines which color working spaces, by the way, are used by the application, and what happens when you open and import files with embedded profiles, and how the color management systems converts colors, by the way. And to view a description of a setting, you should select the setting and then position the pointer, by the way, over the setting name. The description appears at the bottom of the dialog box. Note and be careful here please now, and take care. By the way, Acrobat color settings are a subset of those used in InDesign and Illustrator and Photoshop. And in certain situations, such as if your service provider supplies you with a custom output profiles, you may need to customize specific options in the color setting dialog box. However, customizing is recommended for advanced users only, and not here again. And be careful and take care. If you work with more than one Adobe application, it's highly recommended, by the way, that you synchronize your color setting across applications. And you should see synchronize color setting across Adobe applications, by the way. How to change the appearance of CMYK black if you use Illustrator or if you use InDesign. How to change the appearance of CMYK black if you use Illustrator or if you use InDesign. By the way, pure CMYK black, like K equal 100, appears get black or rich black when viewed on screen, printed to a non-PostScript and desktop printer, or exported to an RGB file format. And if you prefer to see the difference between pure black and rich black as it will appear when printed on a commercial press, you can also change the appearance of black preferences, by the way. These preferences don't change the color values in a document, by the way. We have 3 steps only in this point. The first step, You should to choose edit, then choose preferences, then select appearance of black if you use Windows, or application name, then preferences, then appearance black if you use macOS. Step number 2, you should to choose an option for on screen and display all blacks accurately and displays pure CMYK black as dark gray. This setting, by the way, allows you to see the difference between pure black and rich black, and display all blacks as rich black, displays pure CMYK black, by the way, as get black, and RGB equal 0000000. This setting, by the way, makes pure black and rich black appear the same on screen. Step number 3, and finally, you should choose an option for printing, exporting, output all blacks accurately. When printing to a non-PostScript desktop, by the way, printer on exporting to an RGB file format, outputs pure CMYK black using the color numbers in the document. This setting, by the way, allows you to see the difference between pure black and rich black, and output all blacks as rich black. And when printing to a non-PostScript desktop printer, or exporting to an RGB file format, by the way, outputs pure CMYK black as get black RGB equal 000. And this setting, by the way, makes pure black and rich black appear the same. What about managing process and spot colors? How to manage process and spot colors? By the way, when color management is on, any color you apply or create within a color managed Adobe applications automatically uses a color profile that corresponds to the document. And if you switch color modes, the color management system, by the way, uses the appropriate profiles to translate the color to the new color model you choose. And keep in mind that the following guidelines for working with process and spot colors. And also you have to choose a CMYK working space that matches your CMYK output conditions to ensure that you can accurately define and view process colors. After that, select colors from a color library, and Adobe applications come with several standard color libraries, and which you can load using the swatches panel menu. And after that, if you use Illustrator and if you use InDesign, you should to turn on overprint preview to get an accurate and consistent preview of the spot colors, by the way. And after that, if you use Acrobat and if you use Illustrator and if you use InDesign, you can't use left values the default to display predefined spot colors such as colors from the Toyo and Pantone and DIC, yes, and HKS libraries, and then convert these colors, by the way, to process colors. And using left values provides the greatest accuracy and generates the consistent display of colors across Creative Suite applications. And if you want to display and output of this color to match earlier versions of Illustrator or InDesign, you can use CMYK equivalent values instead for instructions on switch between left values and CMYK values for spot colors and search Illustrator or InDesign help. Note and be careful again. In this point, please now. By the way, the color managing spot colors provides a close approximation of a spot color on your proofing device and monitor. However, it's difficult, by the way, to reproduce a spot color on a monitor or proofing device because many spot color inks exist outside the gamut of many of those devices. Thank you so much.